Friday, and man, we're feeling good, ready to go. We got the one and only Lila Owen coming on the show to talk about Doom Patrol.
Yes, and she spills the beans on her upcoming Disney Plus series Just Beyond, which is going to be a horror comedy anthology. That sounds badass, right?
Right.
So, I mean, guys, like I said, it's so inspiring. She just has like this passionate, like just loves what she does attitude, and her giggle is infectious.
Right.
Like
It really
I can't wait for y'all to hear this interview, man.
Same. Well, that's later on the show. Now, let's get a little crazy. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Crazy Ant Farm. Holy moly, you guys know we're getting crazy on episode 160. It's insane.
160. Look, I am feeling good right now.
Right?
It's Friday. We're 40 episodes away from our 200th episode. We're just rocking and rolling. We're gearing up. We're hiring crew left and right. We've got amazing talent attached to it. Things are looking good at Crazy Ant right now, y'all, and I am pumped.
Exactly. We got a whole bunch going on. I mean, it's crazy how we keep all up to date with everything. It's because we got a great team around us, man.
Absolutely.
We really freaking do. But you guys know your host with the most, myself, J-Lo Fantastic, and the one and only Mouse.
What's up?
Guys, we have a whole bunch of industry news this week. Like Marvel, we're talking about Marvel until like 2025.
I mean, seriously, they always talk about how they've got this thing planned out, but they've got we're going to tell you everything. Just
Literally.
everything. And another Sony delay.
And another one.
Shocker!
No shit. Oh, man. But guys know, talking about the Oscars, talking about DC, a lot of awesome casting announcements and a lot of new stories ready to be told, and of course, reboots apparently about to be made.
Yes.
But you guys know it is what it is. But before we get this thing started, be sure to head over to our website, www.crazyantmedia.com, where you can start rocking the latest and greatest Crazy Ant Media gear right now. We got some fresh new designs just for you and your family and friends. We got tumblers, we got mugs, we got stuff for your dogs, we got hats, we got everything. Shirts, I mean, you see the hats out in the front. Like, man, we're feeling good. And right now, through the weekend until Tuesday, I believe, it's 15% off while supplies last.
You got to jump on that.
Yes.
Like 15% off, it's basically tax-free.
Exactly.
That's fantastic,
Exactly. Man. Feeling good about it, but be sure to head over to our website, www.crazyantmedia, to get all those latest and greatest Crazy Ant Media gear items. Now, let's get started with the Oscars. Now, this one is actually one that we predicted during our Oscar watch party.
We did.
Because, I mean, this seems to happen every single year. Now, the 93rd Academy Awards ceremony, broadcast live from both Union Station and the Dolby Theater in LA on ABC, hit a staggering low. Apparently, towards the Pearson Nelson Live Plus Same Day Preliminary, national numbers, an average of freaking 9.85 million viewers tuned in Sunday evening to watch more than freaking what was expected. I mean, this is basically 58.3% below what they had last year.
Yeah, and last year wasn't great. Less than 14 million people last year. So, woo.
Yeah.
And I mean, just to put it into 1.9 rating amongst 18 to 49, and as you guys know, that's the coveted spot, the 18 to 49 demographic, and that's 64% down from last year.
Damn.
Woo!
Yeah.
You can't pay the bills with that kind of a dip, friends.
No,
That's
you really can't. I mean, talking to everybody about it, out and about and shit, like, ABC needs to broadcast this more, because we were talking about it. The Oscars are kind of like the definition of the American dream.
Yeah.
You see all these people from all around the world winning the Oscar gold and talking about their experiences on set and how they got to where they were. And it's such an amazing moment, but nobody's watching it because nobody knows about it.
Exactly. I mean, our buddy Riley Smith said that he knows, like, people in the industry, celebrity friends and stuff, that they didn't even know it was on.
Exactly.
If people in the industry don't even know it's on, y'all, there's a problem.
Agreed.
I mean, this thing is like the equivalent to the Super Bowl, in movies. And it used to be equivalent in the ratings, like that type stuff, but not anymore, man. You got to, like, figure this stuff out, because, I mean, I feel like these people deserve it. And,
I agree.
I mean, I just don't know. Now, coming in, Netflix was the biggie, right? They were expected to just come in slamming because they had like 35, 36 nominations, and everybody thought they were just going to slam home. And they did. They had a big night, bringing home a total of 7 total Oscars, leading all the studios. But the streamer failed to grab the prize in the Best Picture category and came up empty in all of the acting categories. Their 2 wins included 2 Oscars for David Fincher's Mank, which was, by the way, the most nominated film with 10 nominations. They got that for cinematography and production design. And then, of course, they've got Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. So they got that. A win for that, for adapted screenplay, and also picked up 2 Oscars for makeup and hairstyling. So they did pretty good. Like I said, they came in with 36 total nominations, so 7.
Yeah.
It is the most wins, though, we should say, for a single studio since 2017 when Lionsgate nabbed 8 of them for La La Land.
Makes sense.
Yes, that's Mandy Moore, our friend, choreographer, Extreme.
Yes.
That's so awesome. She's directing this week's episode, too. That's going to be exciting. After Netflix, The Mouse House, of course, overall had the most wins at this year's Oscars with 5. It's Searchlight Pictures, Nomadland, obviously, picked up 3 wins, including Best Picture and Best Director, which was awesome. Disney's Pixar got 2 for Soul, and representing the first ever Academy Awards for Disney Plus, which was awesome. And Warner Brothers had 3 Oscar wins, 2 for Judas and the Black Messiah, and another one for Hers, Fight for You, the song. Amazon Studios' Sound of Metal garnered 2 Oscar wins for film editing and sound. Amazon had nabbed 12 total nominations, but only got 2.
Yeah.
Sony Pictures Classics also won a pair for The Father, which many people were not too happy about.
Yeah.
And among all the other streamers, Apple had 2 nominations for Wolf Walkers and Greyhound, and Hulu had 1, but they all came up empty-handed.
Yeah.
So there you go, by studio, guys. Netflix can claim they won the most, but I mean, I'm just saying 36 and you only walk away with 7 and none of the biggies.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, be proud, but you got some work to do still.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Nomadland getting the triple threat, Best Actor, Best Director, and Best Picture overall, Best Actress, I should say, with Frances McDormand. But man, it was crazy. It was a crazy night, and especially for the Best Actor category. Nobody was expecting that.
No. People came out. Academy members came out. TV executives came out and said it was intentionally planned to end it on the Best Actor because they thought for sure it was in the bag. It was going to be Chadwick Boseman, and it was going to be a beautiful tribute. Everybody was going to love it, and then it didn't happen, y'all. It didn't happen. This just goes to show you that what's in those envelopes for real people don't know.
Exactly.
Only those accountants know because the Academy was for sure it was going to be Chadwick Boseman. Epic fail.
Everybody.
So, oh my goodness, and just one more thing before we move on. The In Memoriam. What the fuck,
yeah,
y'all?
That was a lot.
You missed a couple people, and you went through it on like fast forward speeds. It was like times 32 on your fast forward. Like that is not the place where you skip through fast forward. Like, come on,
Agreed.
people.
Very bad taste. Bad taste. Now heading over to Disney in 2020, the whole entire world went a whole year without a single Marvel Studios project.
Can you even believe that?
Since 2009.
Yeah.
That's insane. Over a decade, guys. We've been like getting our Marvel fix. Well, all should go to plan. By the end of 2021, Marvel will be roaring back with a whopping 10 titles in theaters and on Disney Plus, and at least 19 more in the works for 2022.
Yeah, we've already seen 2, WandaVision and Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So, I mean, like, they are...
Exactly, man. I'm super excited. And Marvel Chief Creative Officer, the one man himself, Kevin Feige, and his team at Marvel Studios. It represents the most aggressive creative expansion in the Marvel Cinematic Universe since 2012's The Avengers redefined what was possible with superhero storytelling. Now, here's what we know that is coming. We got Loki for June 11th, Black Widow July 9th, What If for mid-2021, which, I mean, we're damn near in mid-2021, so we shall see. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, September 3rd. Miss Marvel for late 2021. Hawkeye for late 2021. Eternals, which I'm very curious to see how that one turns out. November 5th. And we got Spider-Man No Way Home, December 17th. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, March 25th of 2022.
Yep.
Thor Love and Thunder, May 6th, 2022. Black Panther 2, July 8th of 2022. Captain Marvel 2 of November 11th of 2022. And She-Hulk 2022. Moon Knight 2022, the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, late 2022,
Yes.
And then the third installment of Guardians is going to be 2023. Secret Invasion, Ironheart, Armor Wars, I Am Groot, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, Blade, Fantastic Four, Deadpool 3, Captain America 4, Untitled Wakanda series, and an Untitled Echo series. That's a lot.
Yeah, all in the works without dates yet. But like I'm telling you, man, we're good for like I don't even know how long. Just it's insane how much is going on at Marvel Studios. But I am loving every
I'm excited.
Single minute of it.
Superhero fatigue is not here. It's not.
No, people are eating that shit up, man. They're fucking loving it, and rightfully so. I'm one of them. Whoop whoop.
Agreed.
And we've got news about some of them. So the Ironheart series that's coming on Disney Plus. They found their writer. Chinaka Hodge is going to serve as the head writer, and it's going to star Dominique Thorne as Marvel character Riri Williams. And if you guys aren't familiar with this, she's basically like a child prodigy. She's a genius inventor, and she creates like a more advanced suit of armor than actually Tony Stark did.
Yeah.
And like in the comic books, she became Iron Man for a little while and then transitioned into her own Ironheart identity. But this is going to be badass.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be a really good series, and it's got a great head writer now. So, all right.
Yeah, I'm super excited about that one. Now, Killian Scott is in negotiations to join Samuel Jackson and Ben Mendelsohn in Secret Invasions, the upcoming Marvel series for Disney+.
Yep.
Now, of course, no further details are available at this time. They're all being kept under those secret wraps.
That's right. Will he play a Skrull? Will he be another hero? Will he be a villain? We don't know, but we will let you know as soon as we know.
Exactly.
So that's because that's what we do. It's not all Marvel at Disney, though. It's not. We promise. It's not all Marvel, although we love that.
We do.
We have some more news, too. Amir Shada Patel, you might know him from Doom Annihilation, has landed the male lead opposite Ellie Bamber, Ruby Cruz, and Aaron Kellyman in Willow. You remember we told you about this? Willow is the new series coming up on Disney Plus that follows up on the movie Willow back in the day. And as we've told you before, Warwick Davis is reprising his role as Warwick. And as we've told you before, the series takes place years after the events of the film, and it's going to introduce all new characters to the enchanted realm of fairy queens and two-headed Eberrusk monsters. And, as I said, welcomes back Willow. Because you can't have a Willow sequel without Willow.
Yeah.
I mean, that just makes sense.
Yeah,
Like,
I know a lot of people are surprised for this, and honestly, I'm surprised that a lot of people are surprised for this. So kudos to them, and kudos for y'all, old people.
All right, now, hey,
ABC has announced new premiere dates for 4 summer series. Press your luck.
Whammy!
Wow,
Oh, I love that show.
Will premiere on May 26th at 8 p.m., immediately followed by the 100,000 Pyramid Card Sharks.
Yep.
Will premiere at 10 p.m. June 16th, and The Ultimate Surfer will debut 10 p.m. on August 23rd.
Now, is this like a channel surfer thing, or is it
Right,
actual surfing?
surfing.
Like, I haven't heard of this one before, so we're going to have to look at that and see what the hell that is.
Interesting.
All right. Now, were you guys worried? Is the Connors being renewed? Is it not being renewed? Will we see people, they were killing people off the last couple episodes and stuff. It's like, what's going on, right? Seems like it's always on the bubble. Well, hold steady. Remain calm. It appears it will be renewed. The 4 principal cast members of The Connors, Sarah Gilbert, and she also executive produces and was the main one getting this thing back on the air, John Goodman, Laurie Metcalf, and Lacey Goranson, have all closed new packs to return next season. Now, our sources say that new packs are for 20-episode 4th season, which is in line for the past 2 seasons. So that's about the same. Time Warner's Warner Entertainment, the Connors production company that handles the cast negotiations, is apparently hammering out a last-minute license fee deal with ABC, which is also expected to close. In anticipation of the formal renewal, the show has already been hiring new writers for a new writer room for season 4. So all is looking good, guys. It looks like it's coming back for another season. So
it's crazy that that they survived after the Roseanne fiasco. I'm surprised they're still on, to be honest with
I
you.
mean, a 4-year run, if it gets this pickup, which all things look like it's... I mean, it's hard for any show to get 4 years now. So for a show to come back based on an old show and then the person's kicked off of it and you're still getting 4, that's impressive.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, that's
Kudos
impressive.
to all them. Well, Trevor Long will join the cast of Hulu's Dope Sick in a recurring role as young Rudy Giuliani. Now, this is going to be very interesting.
Before the hair fiasco.
Yeah. The 8-episode limited series about America's struggle with opioid addiction also features series regulars, of course, Michael Keaton, Caitlin Dever, Peter Skarsgård, Will Poulter, Rosie L. Dawson, and so many more. Filippo So, so many. I'm so excited for this.
I mean, literally everybody in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Caitlin Dever, we've got more news about Caitlin Dever down the line.
Yeah.
She is everywhere. She's like, man, I'm so happy for her.
Right.
She's fantastic.
Agreed.
Hulu's still getting a lot done, though. On top of Dope Sick, they've ordered a 1-hour drama pilot titled Olga Dies Dreaming. It's based on the yet-to-be-published novel of the same name. Author Exulti Gonzalez and Alfonso Gomez-Rejon are attached to executive produce, with Gonzalez writing and Gomez-Rejon directing. 20th Century Television is behind this one, and here's what it's about. One Olga Dreaming is the story of Nuyorican brother and sister from a gentrifying Sunset Park, Brooklyn, reckoning with their absent politically radical mother and their glittering careers among New York City's elite in the wake of Hurricane Maria.
Oh.
That sounds intense.
Right. I mean, everybody loves a good up-and-coming story in New York. So, I mean...
yeah. If you can make it there,
exactly.
you can make it anywhere.
You can make it anywhere.
That's right.
Well, FX ballroom culture period drama Pose will be signing off with its third and final season.
Oh.
This spring, although the final season will be short, only 7 episodes, it tells the story that co-creators Stephen Canals and Ryan Murphy's discussed that they first began talking about the series 5 years ago. So it's going to be ended the way they wanted it to.
Yeah,
so, I mean, kudos to that.
Yeah, that's the way everything should. Like, that surprise endings when they can't wrap it up, those always suck.
Yeah, agreed.
Let's see. 2-time Emmy nominee Maya Rudolph, Yvette Nicole Brown, and Jayama Mays are boarding Disenchanted. I know you're excited about this one. Oh, yeah. The Disney Plus Enchanted sequel, as you guys know, starring Amy Adams, Idina Menzel, James Marsden, and Patrick Dempsey. Oh, J-Lo's man crush. Y'all, I have a story, but we're not going to go there. I'm going to spare him. As you guys know, Adams, Menzel, Marsden, and Dempsey are reprising their respective roles of Giselle, Nancy, Prince Edward, and Robert from the original film. And also, composer Alan Menken is returning, which is always good because the music was epic there. Sources say Rudolph will play a villain in the sequel, with Brown and Mays also potentially portraying evil villains as well.
Ooh.
And I saw Mr. Dempsey himself say that for the first time ever, he would be singing. He's never sung before, so he said... bear with him.
Yeah, right.
That was his exact quote. This guy will love it no matter what.
No matter what.
Give him a Grammy. He's beautiful. He's fantastic.
It's great. Yeah, thinking about it, going back, like he did not sing in the musical episode for Grey's Anatomy.
He did not.
So,
he did not.
That's interesting.
Yeah, this is gonna be like you gotta sing, bro. It's Disney.
Exactly. All right, now the search for an ideal teenage demigod has begun, with Rick Riordan unveiled as the primary casting call for the upcoming Percy Jackson series at Disney+. A lot of people are excited about this one. Casting for the series is now in its early stages, and so we're very, very early with this one.
Can't we just bring back Logan Lerman and use the technology to make him look young?
I mean, he was do that with anybody. I know. He was perfect.
He was. Come on, guys, do that. That'd be fantastic. I'm excited about this one. After the success of the Jordan, and they had so much huge numbers with that, this only makes sense. ESPN Films plans to release Once Upon a Time in Queens. It's going to be a 4-part series about the 1986 Mets. It's going to be later this year on both ESPN and ESPN Plus. The series, produced under the umbrella of the Disney Unit's 30 for 30 documentary unit, is executive produced by Jimmy Kimmel, Sale Cousin Sal, and Camelot's Scott Loneker, and Major League Baseball's Nick Trotta. It's going to be directed and produced by Nick Davis. Now, what is it about? If you guys don't know the story of the 68 Mets, shame on you. I mean, first of all. But it's going to tell the story of the Mets' World Series comeback using hours of never-before-seen footage of the team. Players featured include Bobby Ojeda, Darryl Strawberry, manager Davey Johnson, Dwight Gooden, Keith Hernandez, Kevin Mitchell, Lenny Dykstra, Mookie Wilson, Roger McDowell, Sid Fernandez, Wally Backman. No Ron Swoboda?
Right.
Ron Swoboda was like a hero in like one of the major games, in like the game that they had to come back to win. You don't have Ron Swoboda? I just know Ron Swoboda because he was like my sports director for my local news station. That's where he ended up after the big World Series comeback. He was the sports director at a New Orleans TV station.
Yeah, you know, it's so funny. I could get on you a little bit because you said 68 Mets, so you were around in 68 watching baseball?
I was not, but Ron Swoboda reminded me of the story every time because he clung on to his glory days.
For the 86 Mets. For the 86 Mets.
Oh, 86. It's 68, 86.
Now, this next one I'm very curious about because I don't even know. Like, they cannot freaking make new animated content for children or anybody right now without going back to the Stone Age. Haha. Because the Flintstones are coming back. It's going to be a sequel series from Warner Brothers Animation, officially in development at Fox, with Elizabeth Banks to star and executive produce. Now, the animated series titled Bedrock is set 20 years after the events of the original series. Banks will voice the adult Pebbles Flintstone in addition to executive producing in the show. Fred Flintstone is on the brink of retirement, and his 20-something Pebbles is embarking on her new career. Now, as the Stone Age gives away a shiny and enlightened new Bronze Age, the residents of Bedrock will find this evolution harder than a swing from Bam Bam's club.
Speaking of, don't you think that Seth Rogen would be a great Bam Bam?
He would.
To her so Pebbles, funny. That would be really funny, right?
Yeah.
I think that would be fantastic. So, I mean, if anybody like old like me, not 68, I clearly meant 86. My bad. Ron Swoboda, you are not that old. But they did an adult Pebbles and Bam Bam. You know, they had a cartoon where they were an adult Pebbles and Bam Bam. So they've done this before, but I guess this is going to be different. So we're going to see.
Interesting.
Hey, they're also, I guess they're saying this is a reboot, but I don't think so. I think it's more of a sequel, if you will, because I'm about to tell you why. The Fantasy Island reboot, as they're calling it, but I'm saying sequel at Fox, has cast Rosalind Sanchez in the show's lead role. She's going to star as Elena Rourke. And now here's why I say it's more of a sequel than a reboot, because apparently she's going to star as a descendant of Mr. Rourke from the original series.
Well, damn.
So, like, they're not, like, rebooting it with a female lead as it's going to be a descendant, so that's like a sequel. Right? I'm just saying. I mean, Elena set aside her own ambitions and even the love of her life to uphold her family's legacy. Sophisticated, insightful, and always charming, Elena's calm exterior masks the challenges of the responsibility she has assumed as steward of this mysterious island. That is a total sequel.
Yeah, like what?
Carrying on the family legacy. Don't call it a reboot if it ain't a reboot.
Exactly.
All right.
Just saying. Well, Fox has ordered a dramedy titled The Big Leap to series for the 2021-2022 broadcast season. The Hour show was originally ordered to pilot last year, but production was shut down due to the pandemic, and it's inspired by the UK docuseries The Big Ballot. Now, the show is about a group of diverse, down-on-their-luck characters attempting to change their lives by participating in a potentially life-ruining reality dance show that builds to a live production of Swan Lake. Now, what this group of underdogs lacks in dancing training, they make up with their edge, wit, and desire to reimagine an iconic story to fit their own mold. Now, the cast includes Scott Foley, Simone Rassinger, Raymond Cham, Mallory Jansen, Kevin Daniels, Piper Pedro, and Terry Polo.
Yeah, you did okay with most of those names.
Most of
there.
those.
No, look, I'm a huge fan of Scott Foley. We missed him on Whiskey Cavalier and just so many things. And Terry Polo, love Terry Polo. Meet the Fockers, if you guys have no idea who Terry Polo is. She's been on shit tons of stuff. Both fantastic, so I think this is going to be pretty funny.
Yeah, I agree.
It's going to be pretty good. Fresh off her stint of hosting The Masked Singer, Niecy Nash is sticking with the Fox family. The network's ordered a revival musical game show, Don't Forget the Lyrics, which Nash will now host. The show will air on Fox during the 2021-22 season and also stream on Fox Entertainment's free ad-supported Tubi platform. Now, if you guys don't remember this, I do. And don't say old because it wasn't that long ago, It wasn't that long ago. They had Don't Forget the Lyrics on before, and Wayne Brady hosted it. That was back in 2007 and ran for a couple seasons, 2007 through 2009.
I remember that. It was a good show.
Yeah,
I liked it.
They parlayed off his success of Whose Line Is It Anyway?
That's what
And
it was.
and went into it. And it was funny. So hopefully Niecy Nash, he's equal. He's too busy doing everything else. I mean, so,
Agreed,
we'll see.
Agreed. Well, now hopping over to the bunny.
I see how I put this one just for you.
I know, I appreciate it. Da-na-na-na, da-na-na-na,
Since I couldn't say it right last week, it's fine. Whatever.
The House of the Dragon is finally under construction and is going to production. That's right, guys. The Game of Thrones prequel will launch in 2022. Now we have a definitive year, which is super exciting. Everybody knows the House of the Dragon is going to follow the House of Targaryen, and it's going to be a prequel 300 years to the original Game of Thrones series. I'm so freaking excited about this because Matt Smith from the original Crown, the one that I enjoyed, is coming on board for this one, and he's a phenomenal actor, so I'm excited to see him in this role.
You know, he was Doctor Who also.
Yeah, I didn't watch Doctor Who, though. Did you watch Doctor Who?
I watched a couple episodes with him. Yeah.
Was it good?
I like Doctor Who. I'm more of the old school Doctor Who, but
Yeah.
I like it. So.
I have to watch that.
Yeah, no, it was pretty good. And I mean, he dated Lily James apparently. So
Yeah, I remember that.
yeah,
I remember that.
everybody remembers that because
Yeah.
anybody who dates Lily James, you remember.
Yeah.
That's just plain and simple. Hey, Walker. You remember? This is a reboot
Yes.
of Walker, Texas Ranger. This is a legit reboot. Walker, Season 2 at the CW has upped, and I'm so happy because I love this person. She's fantastic. Odette Annable to a series regular status. Annable's currently recurs on the series as Jerry, an old friend of Walker and his late wife. She's so fantastic. I mean, all the way back to Human Target.
Yeah.
And that creepy horror movie, The Unborn. Like,
Yeah,
woo,
that was
and just
weird.
like all kinds. She Supergirl, so many good things. She's such a phenomenal actress, so that's awesome to see her up to a series regular. Congratulations, Odette.
She is. I love that role. Now, this is really cool. I love this story. Young rock actor Yuli Latekafu. He plays the college football era Dwayne Johnson in The Young Rock. Well, now he is reuniting with the man himself for Black Adam. Now, nobody knows about his role yet. It's being kept underneath one of those wraps.
Yeah.
But that's just so freaking cool. Like, to go from project to project, and this guy looks exactly like him.
Oh,
So-
yeah. And remember, guys, if you're not familiar, Dwayne handpicked this guy
Yeah.
over thousands of other people. So I'm betting he had something to do with this
Oh, yeah, I
casting.
bet he did,
also.
too.
He's like, he probably handpicked him over here, too. I'm just saying.
Like, I have
you
an
know.
idea for this kid.
Yeah. Now, okay, this next one, if you're a comic book geek, you know who Guy Gardner. Guy Gardner is like this edgy hardcore. He's got like this weird shaved sides, kind of like flat top haircut, and it's red as shit, like flaming red, and he's grizzled and just like, ugh. So this one makes no sense to me. I guess they're going to dye the hair. I don't know, wig, something. But Finn Wittrock has been cast in the lead role of the upcoming Green Lantern series, which I am super excited about. Don't get me wrong, I'm super excited about the series. But he's going to star as Guy Gardner. Now, if you've seen Finn Wittrock, you're going, what? But anyway, Guy Gardner is described as a hulking mask of masculinity and, as rendered in the comics, an embodiment of 1980s hyper-patriotism. All true. With shaved side, kind of flat top, marine looking red hair.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. And yet, Guy is somehow likable. Wittrick is the first actor to be cast in the show, and as we've told you on previous shows, the story spans decades and galaxies, beginning on Earth in 1941 with the very first Green Lantern, secretly gay FBI agent Alan Scott, and then jumps into 1984 with the cocky alpha male Gardner and half-alien Bree Jarda. They'll be joined by a multitude of other Lanterns, from comic book favorites to never-before-seen heroes. I would have to assume at some point Hal is going to show up.
Yeah, I mean, you would think so.
I mean, he's the definitive. Guy Gardner is one of Earth's Green Lanterns, though, so I'm just saying. I'm excited as hell about this.
Yeah, same. Me too. Me too. Something else that we're really freaking excited about, even though, I mean, they've told his story a little bit before. Scarecrow is coming to the Titans for season 3. And they have announced that they have cast Vincent Carthier as Jonathan Crane, a.k.a. Scarecrow. And in the show, Crane is an inmate at Arkham Asylum who used to terrorize Gotham City using his toxins to exploit his enemies. Phobia's other new characters are set to be introduced in season 3, including Barbara Gordon and Tim Drake. Yep. So I'm really excited for season 3.
And do you know who he is?
No.
Oh, okay, because you never watched it. You're on me about Game of Thrones. I have to get on you about Mad Men. Fucking brilliant show. Everybody who watched Mad Men knows exactly who this is. This is Pete, and I could not think that this is brilliant casting.
Oh shit!
You go back and watch Mad Men, and you watch him as Pete. You're going, fuck yes, this is going to be a brilliant Scarecrow. This is going to be fantastic. And a little piece of trivia for anybody out there who might not know this: he's also married to Rory Gilmore in real life, Alexis Bledel.
Interesting.
Yeah, interesting. Just dropping the knowledge for you.
That's what it's all about.
That's right. Hey, were you like me and just glued to the fucking internet last year for DC's fandom because nothing was happening? Well, guess what? I loved it, you loved it, and we're getting it again.
Yeah,
I'm so excited about this. DC Entertainment's announced that DC Fandom will return, and we don't have to wait too long. It's in October. The global fan experience celebrates the world's greatest superheroes and reaches fans across 220 countries and territories with over 22 million chances to view it. DC Entertainment is yet to announce content, talent, or anything else. But if it's like the last time, I mean, I'm still, I go back and watch it still, that Batman. Yeah. I am vengeance. Yeah. I was like, oh shit.
That fucking trailer.
Yeah, so my gosh. I'm pumped for this. I'm excited.
I know, and I mean, nail in the coffin at Comic-Con, but they weren't supposed to last forever, so it is what it is.
Yeah, and you've got to imagine that Warner and Marvel and all of them are going to be, not Warner, Marvel is going to be following suit with this, I would think.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Domhnall Gleeson and Lita Headey have been tapped to play key Watergate figures in HBO's limited series, The White House Plumbers. Ooh. From the team behind Veep, they joined previously announced cast members Woody Harrelson and Justin Trudeau. Now, the series will be co-production with HBO and Whip.
Yeah, Whip.
Oh, interesting. I don't know what Whip is. I
don't know.
Whip it real good.
Or whip their hair.
Yeah, right.
I don't know.
Per the logline, the 5-part series tells the story about President Richard Nixon, I am not a crook,
that's right.
Own political superstitions and Watergate masterminds. E. Harold Hunt, who's going to be played by Harrelson, and G. Gordon Liddy, who's going to be played by Trudeau, accidentally toppled the presidency when they were variously trying to protect, obviously, Nixon. Now, Gleason will be playing John Dean, a brilliant, ambitious, and youthful White House counsel that ultimately orchestrates the illegal cover-up that brought down Nixon and his administration.
Oh.
So there's a lot of good stuff happening, guys. No doubt, I feel like all these political limited series are coming out after Comey Rule.
Oh, yeah, and I mean, look, come on, All the President's Men and like all these things back, the Nixon story has always fascinated people. Yeah. So I feel like anytime they tell it in any format, it's going to do well. So I'm excited for this one. I think it's going to do well.
Agreed.
Toni Collette, who also seems to be popping up everywhere lately.
Yeah.
She's going to star alongside Colin Firth in HBO Max's limited series, The Staircase. The 8-episode series is based on the docuseries of the same name, as well as various books and reports about the case of Michael Peterson, played by Firth, who was accused of murdering his wife, Kathleen, played by Collette, in 2001. Now, he claimed she died after falling down the stairs at their home, but police suspected he actually bludgeoned her to death and staged the scene to look like an accident. So...
Murder porn. Everybody loves that.
Everybody loves to watch those type things. It's going to be fantastic. And I mean, those are two brilliant actors, so there you go.
Yeah, exactly. Now, this I am super excited about because this man is absolutely a genius in front of the camera and a genius behind the camera. Taika Waititi is hitting the high seas as the dreaded pirate Blackbeard, and in the upcoming HBO Max comedy series, Our Flag Means Death. Now, Waititi joins previously announced series lead Rhys Darby, and the pair previously worked together on HBO Max's series Flight of the Conchords.
Oh, yeah.
And the film What We Do in the Shadows. Now, Darby starred in both projects, with Waititi serving as writer and director on HBO series, and star, co-writer, co-director, and producer of the film, because this man wears every single hat in the book.
He does, and tries to on as many projects as he can. I mean, kudos to him, man.
Right.
Woo. Okay, hey, did you guys see it? HBO Max released the trailer for the upcoming comedy series, That Damn Michael Che.
That guy.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is going to be pretty funny. It's going to premiere May 6th, and apparently each installment of the Saturday Night Live Stars 10-episode series is going to illustrate what it feels like to be him and experience everyday situations from his own perspective, including racial profiling, unemployment, and falling in love. Now, what's going to make this even more epic? Fellow Saturday Night Live cast members Cecily Strong, Heidi Gardner, Colin Quinn, Ellen Cleghorn, and Colin Jost are all going to lend their talents to the series, along with guest stars Omari Hardwick, Jeffrey Owens, Godfrey, Billy Porter, Method Man. Shay's going to serve as executive producer alongside Lorne Michaels, because you can't do anything about Saturday Night Live without Lorne Michaels, Aaron Doyle, and Oz Rodriguez. So I think this is going to be funny.
I think so too. He's honestly one of my favorites, and the Weekend Update is probably one of my favorite segments.
Absolutely. And so you knew Colin Jost had to be a part of it, because, I mean,
exactly. They're hilarious together. Now, guys, the Garcias are getting the family back together. HBO Max has given a 10-episode order to The Garcias, a sequel to the family comedy The Brothers Garcia. Now, that aired on Nickelodeon for 4 seasons from 2000 to 2004, and the series hails from New Cannon's Productions, the banner that headed by Brothers Garcia co-creator and executive producer Jeff Valdez and Sol Toyo. And now the production is scheduled to begin in Ventres, Mexico in June.
Oh.
So that's very freaking cool. Get more of that Latinx family roots down.
Absolutely, which is awesome.
Exactly.
Okay, speaking of more Latinx, Isabella Merced, who starred as Dora the Explorer. I didn't see that, I'm going to be honest with you.
I didn't
but
either.
She was also in Mark Wahlberg's Family. You remember that comedy about the adopted kid? She was brilliant in that.
Agreed.
Absolutely loved her. Anyway, she's joining Andy Garcia and Gloria Estefan in the remake of Father of the Bride. She's going to play the bride's sister, and as we reported last week, the bride's being played by Adria Arona. So I think this is great. She's a brilliant young actress, and I think she's going to do really well in this. And so they're clearly changing it up a little bit. It's not going to be a little brother. It's going to be a sister.
Exactly.
So that's going to be awesome, and we'll kind of see how that plays out.
Instant Family, I think that's what
Instant Family, yeah. Yep.
Really good, man. Really good. Now, heading over to the Viacom CBS, Dominique Fishback who was most recently in Judas and the Black Messiah. Yep. She's going to be joining Anthony Ramos in the latest Transformers film from Paramount. Now, of course, plot details are not yet known about the film, but it is due to hit theaters on June 24th of 2022. So mark your calendars. I liked Bumblebee, so hopefully this one lives up to that.
Yeah, because remember, there's like 18 of them coming out, and some of them are connected to that,
some of them
are not. And this one, we don't know.
No idea.
I guess we'll find out.
We'll find out.
Hey, you remember we told you about NCIS Hawaii? Hawaii. Yes. It's taking the place of NOLA, which, I mean, who doesn't want to go to Hawaii, right? Well, anyway, we're getting some more details about it. Apparently, it's found its leading lady, and you know who it is? Nick Lachey's wife, Vanessa Lachey, while also adding both Yasmin El Bustamante and Jason Antoon to the cast. Nice. Now, Lachey is going to star as Jane Tennant, the first woman SAC of NCIS. Ooh, Hawaii, she is described as being a diplomatic as she is hard-charging. A woman in a male-dominated profession, she's thrived in a system that's pushed back at every step on the way through equal parts of confidence and strategy. But Tennant is more than just a job and a title. She's a mother raising her kids mostly on her own. Like any parent who loves their career and their family, she's a master juggler, balancing the duty to both her children and her country. That sounds epic, awesome, and fantastic.
Yeah, right?
El Bustamante will play Lucy, confidant in the way that reflects a lifetime of achievement and youthful enthusiasm. Lucy is the junior member of Tennant's NCIS team. And Toon is going to play Ernie. You can't go wrong with
Ernie.
anybody named Ernie,
Yeah,
right?
right.
I mean, I feel like you're good there. And this makes total sense. He's going to be the cyber intelligence specialist. Ernie's a polyglot with a keen mind for technology, history, literature, and all things Hawaiian. He's an essential component of the team who can trace an anonymous IP address or profile a suspect using only their social media footprint.
I love that, though. I freaking love that because female power, man. We need to see more of that, especially in a male-dominated workforce. I'm watching The Nevers right now, and it's basically like an 80% female cast, which is
Love
amazing.
it. Yeah.
It's great, man. It's great.
After all these years of NCIS being on the air, it's about time they finally had a woman leader.
Agreed.
That's
Completely
crazy.
Agree. Now, Grace Goomer has been cast in the Let the Right One In pilot at Showtime. She joins the previously announced cast members, Demian Bichir, Annika Noin-Rose, and the series centers around Mark, a father, and his 12-year-old daughter, Eleanor, whose lives were changed forever 10 years earlier when she was turned into a vampire.
Oh,
shit.
Okay,
I wasn't
all right.
expecting that.
Nope.
Locked in at age 12, perhaps forever, Eleanor lives in a closed-in life, able to go out only at night while her father does the best to provide for her, and with the minimal amount of human blood she needs to stay alive. Goomer will play the role of Claire, the heiress and pharmaceutical empire. Claire is a brilliant scientist who turned down the family's billion-dollar business to pursue a humbler, nobler career in disease research. But her life gets turned upside down when her estranged, ailing father summons her home and reveals a terrible secret.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Fucking wild.
Yeah, that sounds intense.
I wasn't expecting all that.
No, and for that type of a story, I feel like you need like a really solid actress, and Grace Goomer is.
I agree.
Really yeah, for anybody out there, because I just want to drop knowledge all night long. Do you know who Grace Goomer is?
Let's go for it. No, I don't.
No. No, I'm just gonna say, you know, the most nominated actress in history for the Oscars, Meryl Streep, daughter.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's Meryl Streep's daughter, y'all.
Damn.
Yep.
All right.
Just dropping it like it's hot.
Right.
Like it's hot. Hey.
So did Meryl Streep on Oscar night.
That's okay. All right. Hey, Ken Jeong will host the special "See Us Unite for Change," an effort to address the rising tide of hate crimes against Asian Americans.
Yes.
That is set to air May 21st across Viacom's all channels. It's just everywhere they're gonna have it. It's gonna be fantastic. Through music and comedy performances, short film packages, and speakers, See Us Unite for Change aims to inspire and educate viewers about AAPI community's impact on the United States and how to support on-the-ground efforts building solidarity against hate. The special is going to simulcast worldwide, like I said, literally all of Viacom CBS's platforms. So that's going to be awesome. I mean, you know, we need stuff. My favorite is entertain and inform and educate. That's the way you got to do it, guys.
Agreed. Now, this next one I'm kind of excited about because I'm a fan of his music. I'm not going to lie. John Mayer is nearing a deal with Paramount Plus to host a talk and performance series based on the format of the BBC's long-running Later with Jules Holland. Now it's going to be Later with John Mayer, and it has been pitched to prospective broadcaster partners as a series featuring performance segments as well as interviews with musicians, artists, and other cultural figures in setting designed to look like an after-hours club for musicians. Now, the series would be ran as a weekly offering on Paramount Plus. The plan is to have specials derived from the show's performance segment and air periodically on CBS as well. There is also talk of tie-ins with the Grammy Awards, which also airs on CBS. So that's going to be very interesting because a lot of people are going to get to know who the actual John Mayer is because he's depicted as a douchebag, a womanizer. So it's going to be very interesting to see how he actually is.
Well, then he should fit right in it.
The eye.
I went there. All right. Switching over to NBC Universal. Here she is again, Caitlin Dever. I mentioned her at the top. She's everywhere. She's joining Universal's Ticket to Paradise. Why does that sound familiar? Because it's the romantic comedy starring George Clooney and Julia Roberts that's reuniting them, and it feels so good. I made that up. The original comedy revolves around exes who find themselves on the shared mission to stop their love-struck daughter from making the same mistake they once made. The film's set to release release on September 30th of next year. My guess is Caitlin Dever is going to play the love-struck daughter.
Nice.
That's going to be... Caitlin Dever looks like she could be a product of George Clooney and Julia Roberts, right?
I could see
that. Totally.
It's going to be good, man. It's going to be good. Now, Universal Pictures and Blumhouse Productions have selected January 28th of 2022 for a release of Scott Derrickson's next movie, The Black Phone.
Oh.
Now, the film is currently only wide release on that date. There currently aren't any wide releases scheduled for the weekend after. Oh, that's very interesting.
Yep.
February 5th through the 7th. The Black Phone makes Dickerson's return to horror. In the film, Finney Shaw, a shy but clever 13-year-old boy, is abducted by a sadistic killer and trapped in a soundproof basement where screaming is of little use. Now, when a disconnected phone on the wall begins to ring, Finney discovers that he can hear the voices of the killer's previous victims, and they are dead set on making sure that what happened to them doesn't happen to him. Now, 4-time Oscar nominee Ethan Hawke stars with newcomer Mason Thames.
This sounds like an Ethan Hawke creeper,
It
right?
does.
Like, I mean...
I'm excited for that one.
Me too, man. That sounds good. Now, we were just talking about Young Rock, right? And, I mean, this is no surprise to me because it's been huge in the ratings and it's been doing really... And it's The Rock. So, good news, guys. Young Rock and Keenan both been renewed for Season 2 at NBC. As you guys know, they're joining the rest of the renewals that we've already talked about. The Blacklist, Chicago Fire, Chicago Med, Chicago PD. They've all been renewed for 3 seasons in February of 2020. Law & Order SVU, which was renewed for 3 more seasons in February. Mr. Mayor, New Amsterdam. This Is Us for 3 more seasons. And because there's a definitive end date for This Is Us, though.
Yeah.
And in May, we were Transplant. So,
yeah,
basically everything NBC has is coming back.
Yeah, right?
I mean,
right.
Pretty much.
And they're trying to build up their streamer. So Peacock has ordered an 8-episode supernatural-based drama on Crypt TV's Girl in the Woods movies. Kristen Ritter is slated to direct the first 4 episodes, including the pilot of the forthcoming adaptation. Now, Ritter will also co-executive produce. Jacob Chase from Come to Play is set to direct the last 4 episodes, and Casey Montanaro from The Birch will serve as head writer. So,
this is interesting. Kristen Ritter, like, no sign of acting. They're just directing and producing. So that's awesome. Making the move. The move. Hey, okay, this is going to be a hilarious couple. I'm sorry, but this is going to be funny. Josh Gad and Isla Fisher.
Yeah.
I mean, enough said right there, right? They're set to star, apparently, in the romantic comedy series Wolf Like Me, which has received a straight-to-series order at the Peacock. The streamer has ordered 6 episodes of the half-hour series. Now, in the show, Josh Gad's character, Gary, is an emotional wreck and struggles to provide for his daughter since the death of his wife. Mary, who's played by Isla Fisher, of course, has a secret she can't bring herself to share with anyone. The universe brought these two together for a reason. They just need to keep following the signs. Now, this said romantic comedy, and nothing about that sounded funny.
No, not at all.
I mean, like a father struggling to take care of his kid after the death of his wife, and then this woman, like, trying to figure out her life. Like, that doesn't sound funny.
No.
All right.
No. Something else that doesn't sound funny, and which is an interesting choice. Tesla CEO Elon Musk is set to host SNL on May 8th with musical guest Miley Cyrus. I feel like this is just going to be a very awkward episode. Musk is a rare example of a business mogul to be featured as a host of the late night institution. Now, the news comes on the heels of Musk's SpaceX travel venture launching its second operational flight of its Dragon spacecraft to the International Space Station last Friday. It's going to be very awkward, I think.
It's going to be
those two together. He's not an actor, so when you put him in skits, it's going to be weird.
It's going to be awful.
Yeah.
You're going to be telling that he's reading the cue cards and like, oh, God, this is going to be bad. I don't care how many billions you have. This is bad.
Agreed.
Bad idea. Hey, some bad news for you guys, okay? Sony Spider-Man spinoff Morbius. Like I told you at the top of the show, Sony, it stars Jared Leto and centers on the character Morbius, the living vampire. Well, it's been delayed again. That's right. You heard me right. It's been delayed again. But we have some good news. It's only by a week. The film has been moved from January 21st of next year until January 28th of next year. There's nothing else opening on Morbius's previous weekend, so the studio likely is making this move because they want their other film, Scream, which presumably has a pretty similar audience and comes out the week before, to have a little breathing room to make some money before they release Morbius. Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, kind of like Godzilla versus Kong in Mortal Kombat.
Right.
So, I mean, just exact same. Now, Escape Room 2 has been moved up from its release date to July. Sony's sequel to the 2019 psychological thriller will debut July 16th of 2021, nearly 6 months earlier than planned date of January 7th of 2022. With the box office beginning to revive after COVID-19, we're still going through it, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
It's possible that Escape Room 2 moved up in the schedule to compete with summer blockbuster timeframes. Now, the first Escape Room was a hit at the box office, earning $155 million. So,
it was. I loved it. I thought it was pretty badass. Deborah Ann Wall was in it. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about that. Now, Noah Centineo, he's playing Atom Smasher in Black Adam, right? Getting a huge buff, and he's so busy, right? Well, guys, I have obviously Black Adam probably had a lot to do with this, but we're going to tell you something a little bit later in the news. Else. And another reason why this probably happened. But Noah Centineo was in talks, as you guys know, because we reported on this, to play He-Man in Sony Pictures and Mattel Films, long in development. It seems like forever. Masters of the Universe movie, right? Well, bad news. He's exited the project, forcing the filmmakers to go back to square one. Now, he had been nearing a deal to play Prince Adam, a.k.a. He-Man, the most powerful man in the universe, but it fell apart. No reason was given as to why he left the project. But again, he's doing Black Adam, and we're going to tell you something else like down the line that we think probably had a lot to do with this exit.
Exactly. Well, now hopping over to Lionsgate Shotgun Wedding, a romantic comedy starring Jennifer Lopez and Josh Duhamel, will arrive on the big screen next summer. The Lionsgate film has scheduled to be released June 29th of 2022. So stay tuned for that. As we've told you, Shotgun Wedding centers around Darcy, who is Lopez, and Tom, who is Duhamel, who gather their families for a destination wedding. But as the couple begins to get cold feet, the entire wedding party is taken hostage, given a new meaning to the phrase, "Till death do us part."
Yep.
So, yeah, there it is.
If it sounds familiar, guys, this is the one that Armie Hammer had that. That's it. Yeah, Josh Duhamel took his place. Lionsgate's also pinned down release dates for 2 more of its other titles. The Protégé, that's going to open August 20th of this year, and White Bird, A Wonder Story, which is going to release September 16th of next year. Yeah. Now, what are those? Well, let me tell you. The Protégé, which we've previously talked about on the show, but it was called The Asset. Apparently, they've changed the name. That's the one that stars Samuel L. Jackson, Michael Keaton, and Maggie Q. The story centers on Anna, who was rescued as a child by the legendary assassin Moody and trains to become the world's most skilled contract killer. But when Moody is brutally murdered, Anna exacts revenge and becomes entangled in a cat-and-mouse game with an enigmatic killer, Michael Keaton. That sounds just badass. I'm just going to say it. Now, White Bird, A Wonder Story. Well, that one's based on the book by R.J. Palacio, whose previous novel, Wonder, such a good movie, became a commercial smash for Lionsgate. The upcoming adaptation is set in the same cinematic universe as Wonder and tells the tale of Julian Albans, an elementary school bully. After leaving his school, he's visited by his grandmother from Paris as she recounts her experience as a young girl in Nazi-occupied France. So that's cool that it's set in the whole little, could we see Wonder maybe? I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome.
Very interesting concept for both of those. Now, Lionsgate and Ethan Ross's adaptation of the hit video game Borderlands, who we've been talking about literally for 2 straight months, it feels like, has rounded out its cast, adding Gina Gerson as Moxie and Cheyenne Jackson as Jacobs. Now, Charles Babaloya as Hammerlock and Benjamin Byron as Davis as Marcus, Stephen Boyer as Scooter, and Ryan Redmond as Ellie. And of course, we've told you, in addition, Bobby Lee is also joining the cast of the role as Larry, who's going to be a completely new role, not in the video game, but of course, they're going to be joining Cate Blanchett, Kevin Hart, Jamie Lee Curtis, and so many more. Jack Black.
I mean, everybody. Great. It's like Dope Sick in this. They have everybody in Hollywood occupied for the next year.
It's
like crazy. Hey, Stars, they've announced that Power Book 3, Raising Kanan, will premiere on July 18th. Now, that's set in 90 South Jamaica, Queens, and serving as a prequel to the original Power franchise. The series starts Patina Miller, Mackay Curtis, Omar Epps, London Brown, Malcolm Mays, Haley Kilgore, Joey Badass, Tony Sanderman, Shani Caswell, Lovey Simone, and Quincy Brown.
Yeah.
All the people that weren't able to get on the Borderlines are dope sick. No,
Right,
I'm just
exactly.
kidding. I'm just kidding.
Exactly.
All the Power franchises are going to do good. 50 Cent's killing it, so
Yeah.
it's going to be good.
Exactly, and this one's about 50 Cent's character, Keenan. So
Yep.
it's going to be really freaking epic. And South Jamaica, Queens, that's where he grew up. So I'm guessing a lot of it's going to be his story being told.
Oh, yeah.
And speaking of, we were just talking about it, teasing it a little bit. Noah Centino will lead and executive produce an untitled espionage project.
Espionage.
Slated to debut on Netflix.
It's all right.
And-
68 minutes.
You know, it's fine. It's fine. The hour-long series will consist of 8 episodes that hails from the Rookie co-creator, Alexia Hawley, and who will serve as executive producer and showrunner. And Noah will play the fleeting lawyer at the CIA that becomes immersed in a dangerous international power politics when a former asset threatens to expose the nature of her long-term relationship with the agency unless they exonerate her of all the serious crimes that she may or may not have committed. Now, the name of his character has yet to be announced, but as well as other casting choices or character descriptions, so they're under those wraps.
There you go. But with Black Adam in this series, it seems pretty obvious why he bailed on He-Man. Just saying. It's been in development for 17,000 years.
Exactly.
So, I mean, you got to go with what's going.
What it is.
I'm just got to go with what's going. And you want to know what's going? Lin-Manuel Miranda. Like, that guy is just killing it.
Doesn't stop.
No. Well, Vivo, an animated movie that boasts new music from Hamilton creator Lin-Manuel Miranda, is coming to Netflix. The family-friendly film was initially scheduled to release in cinemas on June 4th, but as Sony does with everything they own, apparently, everything they keep, they delay. Everything else, they get rid of.
They just sell.
The studio originally backed Vivo, but put it on the Netflix to forego a theatrical release and instead license the project to the streamer. It's unclear when it's going to debut on Netflix, but hey, it's Lin-Manuel Miranda, so I'd say ASAP.
Yeah, right?
Just saying.
Just saying. Now, this next one is very cool. Journey Smollett will star in Netflix thriller Lou. Appearing opposite is going to be Allison Janney, and it's coming from J.J. Abrams' Bad Robot. So this is super exciting, and it's going to be directed by Anna Forrester from Westworld, from the script by Maggie Cohn. Now, the story centers on a woman whose daughter is kidnapped. So she teams up with a mysterious older woman next door to pursue the kidnapper. A journey into the wilderness that tests their limits and expose the dark and shocking secrets from their past.
I'm so down. Journey Smollett teaming up with Allison Janney to hunt down some bad guys sounds like an epic program to me.
I agree.
I'm sorry, I'm just in. I'm in. Let's see. Let's jump to Amazon.
Let's do it.
Amazon Studios has won the auction for screen rights to, this is a great title, You Made a Fool of Death with Your Beauty. Now, who won that?
Right.
Michael B. Jordan, of course. Michael B. Jordan's Outlier Society will develop it. Jordan, whose new film, Without Remorse, debuted today. I can't wait to watch that tonight. It's going to be awesome. On Amazon Prime, birthed this production company, as you guys know, at Amazon, and this is his first major film property acquisition under the new deal, so that's badass. Now, the book sold in a bidding battle in the vicinity of high 6 to low 7 figures. One of the biggest book deals of the year so far, and the one that was highly competitive. There were 8 offers from other studios, some with filmmakers already attached, but Jordan said, step the fuck back, and he got it. Elizabeth Rapasso chased it hard. The story centers on a beautiful Nigerian 29-year-old aspiring artist in Brooklyn who loses her husband in a tragic accident. While she grieves through her art, her life begins to turn around when she meets a new handsome man at a party and is given an introduction to a major curator who wants to launch her career into the art world. But even as that romance takes her to a beautiful estate in the Caribbean, she struggles with the challenge of balancing grief with the desire to move on and forward in her life.
Damn.
I mean,
deep.
It's Michael B. Jordan,
Yeah,
guys.
right. Exactly.
I mean, anything that he's involved with is going to kick ass.
I agree. Now, is everybody else loving Invincible just like I am? Well, apparently, because they've been renewed for season 2 and 3 at Amazon. Now, this came from creator Robert Kirkman alongside Steven Yeun over Twitter a few days ago. And man, it's just so badass. Like, you guys need to watch this. It's such an epic animated superhero story that says fuck all the time.
Oh, yeah.
So, it's great.
Oh, yeah. And hey, one of the stars, J.K. Simmons, a busy guy. Apparently, he's not only going to do Invincible, which has been renewed, as you just heard, but he's also set to star opposite Sissy Spacek in the Amazon sci-fi series Light Years, taking over the lead role from series Ed O'Neill. Oh, he backed out. Okay. Ed O'Neill's casting was reported in March, but according to sources, he has exited for personal reasons. The series follows Irene, which is Sissy Spacek, and Franklin, which is now going to be J.K. Simmons, York, a couple who years ago discovered a chamber buried in their backyard, which inexplicably leads to a strange, deserted planet. They've carefully guarded their secret ever since, but when an enigmatic young man enters their lives, the York's quiet existence is quickly upended, and the mysterious chamber they thought they knew so well turns out to be even more than they imagined.
Oh, shit.
Oh, yeah. J.K. Simmons, I love J.K. Simmons.
Me too.
Everything he's in, he's fucking brilliant. So this is going to be awesome.
Agreed. Now, Veep alum Reed Scott and Gideon Glick from The Marriage Story are set for recurring roles on the upcoming 4th season of Amazon's Emmy-winning and Golden Globe-winning series, The Marvelous Miss Maisel. But of course, their character details are being kept well under those burrito wraps. But for both Scott and Glick will appear in multiple episodes, so their character stories are going to be spanning quite a bit of arcs.
Well, there you go.
Yeah,
there you
right?
go. Now, jumping to Apple, and the only O that matters.
Yes.
And we're talking about Oprah, of course. Her and Apple TV Plus have announced that Elliot Page is going to be Oprah's next guest on the Oprah Conversation. It's going to debut today, April 30th. So that's badass. Now, it's going to present a deeply honest conversation with the actor, producer, and lifelong social justice advocate. In a time when the rights of transgender people are on the ballot in many states, Page will share his life and career struggles and his hopes for transgender people worldwide. Good.
Yeah, exactly.
If anybody needs to have this conversation, it's Oprah, because she's going to drag it all out.
Agreed.
Drag it all, and much needed information out there is going to get out there. So.
Agreed. Definitely. Now, this next one I'm super excited about because of the cast. It's insane. Kyle Marvin has been cast as in a lead role opposite of Anne Hathaway and Jared Leto in the upcoming Apple Limited series, We Crash. Now, which details of the fall of We Work, the series is based on the Wondery podcast of the same name. It is described as following a greed-filled rise and inevitable fall of WeWork, one of the world's most valuable startups, and the narcissistic whose chaotic love made it possible. Now, Marvin will star as Miguel McLevy, the co-founder of WeWork. Leto will play the fellow founder Adam Newman, while Hathaway will play his wife Rebecca Newman. So very interesting.
All right, now, and we've talked about this next one a lot too, and I'm pretty excited about it. So Julianne Emery has been cast in Apple's upcoming Hurricane Katrina series. We guys have told you about this. 5 days at Memorial. She joins previously announced cast members Vera Farmiga, Adora Oduo, and Cornelia Smith Jr. The series, as we've said, is based on the Sherry Fink novel of the same name, and it chronicles the first 5 days in a New Orleans, Louisiana hospital, charity most likely, after the Hurricane Katrina made landfall. Now, when the floodwaters rose and power failed and the heat climbed, exhausted caregivers were forced to make life and death decisions that haunted them for years to come. Emery is apparently set to play the role of Diane Robichaux, an assistant administrator for life care who finds herself deeply involved in the events following the hurricane. That's just going to be an intense movie because it was pretty scary what happened there after Hurricane Katrina. So
completely agree, man. It's going to be a good story to be told. Now, this next one, don't play with Roku because they will yank your shit. Roku's deal to distribute YouTube TV expired today, and amid its standoff with Google, Roku pulled YouTube TV from its channel store for now. However, Roku said that it is continuing to provide access to YouTube TV for existing subscribers, but for those new people who are looking for it, well, you're shit out of luck. Now, that's the only YouTube TV app. You can still download the YouTube app. But, of course, negotiations are going back and forth every single day. And I'm sure in the next upcoming weeks they'll come to an agreement because Roku is one of the biggest, platforms right now to watch all of these subscriptions. So, it is what it is. Don't fuck with Roku.
Exactly. And Google trying to demand shit just because. Step back.
Exactly. Step back. Oh, man. But now it is time for our guest segment.
Yes.
Oh, my gosh, guys. We're so super excited. Lila Owen coming on the show to talk about her role in Doom Patrol and the new Disney Plus series she's got out. There's a whole bunch, man.
Oh.
She is super freaking exciting.
She's just awesome. And guys, when you listen to this interview, you're going to be shocked because, believe it or not, this is her very first interview.
Yeah.
And she sounds like she's been doing it for 30 years. I mean, it's amazing how she was. Exactly. And just so infectious and delightful. And you guys are going to love this one.
Agreed. Well, here she is.
Lila Owen, welcome inside the Crazy Ant Farm. How are you tonight?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Oh, we're doing awesome. Excited to have you on the show.
Thank you.
Yep, we have a lot of Doom Patrol fans, a lot of DCU and Arrowverse, and just a ton of them. And so they're going to be super pumped to hear from you, no doubt.
Perfect.
Yeah, but I mean, and Disney Plus, you got all kinds of stuff coming up, and we're going to talk about all that exciting stuff. But what we like to do to get started, though, is kind of do an introduction to the fans who are listening who might not be familiar with who you are and stuff. Okay. So how did you get started in the industry? Was it something that you knew from an early age you always wanted to do, or was it kind of you fell into it? Or talk about that a little bit.
Well, actually, I started only, it's going to be 3 years at the end of June. So I haven't really been acting for that long. But basically how I started was I did, background work, extras work, and I did background work in Spider-Man Homecoming with, Tom Holland and everything. Mm-hmm. And I saw him, doing acting, and I was like, oh, my gosh, I want to do that. I need to do that. And my mom was already acting. She does, commercials and stuff like that.
Okay.
And so she kind of knew how to get me started and everything, and she got me headshots. And then we got me signed on with an agent at the end of June. And that was, when I started. It was June of, I don't know, what was 3 years ago? Is that 2018?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, 2018.
Yeah,
don't ask us math, Lila, okay?
So, June 2018, I think. If that's 3 years ago, that's whenever I signed.
We're going with that, 2018.
Yeah. So that's whenever I started, and that was what got me into it.
Well, and then you were one of the lucky ones that had a parent that was already kind of doing it, so you didn't get the whole "ooh, you don't want to do that." You get a real job or kind of focus on. So you're lucky there.
Yeah, yeah, and I kind of knew how to get started instead of just having to look it up and figure everything out on my own, because there's no way that I would have been able to figure out how to get everything set up to start acting.
Yeah, definitely. And with it all being still kind of relatively new, is there other areas in the filmmaking industry that you're interested in exploring further down the line, or are you just looking at staying in front of the camera? Or?
Originally, actually, one of the things that got my dad on board with me starting acting was for school, we do a lot of video projects because I'm a senior in high school, so I still am working on projects and stuff like that for my classes, and we do a lot of video projects, and I've always been really good at editing and kind of directing the video projects, and my dad noticed that, and so he was wanting me to do directing. So that's kind of what got him on board in the first place with me doing acting. Was he was thinking if I started in acting, then eventually I could move to directing. But now that I'm doing acting and I see what directors do, I do not want to do that.
That's right. At least it's honest.
Too hard for me.
What about the people who do both? They direct themselves in a project.
Oh
how
my
intense
God,
must that be, right?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I have no idea how they do that.
Okay, so then obviously the next question would be, if you're a senior in high school and you're already acting, and first of all, I'm just sitting here still marveling the fact that you're 17 and you've already pulled off the double of being in the MCU and DC. Congratulations! What? I don't care if it's a background actor or not. You're in an MCU movie and DC. That's all right. I'm already jealous. So my next question would be though, are there plans for college? Are you going to put the acting on hold while you go to college? Are you going to try to balance both, or what are your plans for that?
I'm definitely wanting to balance both. I do not want to quit acting because 18 is prime time for acting because we can steal all the 15-year-old roles,
Absolutely.
So I definitely want to keep acting so I can play high school and everything like that. So I'm gonna be going to college, but first year I'm gonna be going from home.
Okay.
Not
Okay.
online, but like I'm gonna drive there because my campus is only 30 minutes away.
Oh, not
So
bad
I'm
at
gonna be
all.
doing college and acting at the same time.
Very nice, very nice. What are you thinking
Yes.
about majoring in?
People always ask me this, and I don't actually know what I'm supposed to what I'm supposed to take. For
You
this,
mean it's
but
not film and television? Come on, Lila, like that.
actually, this is gonna be really surprising to you guys, but I want to like be a nurse if I don't do acting.
Oh,
That's awesome. You can get a spot on
I know,
Grey's
it's
Anatomy.
very different.
yeah, no, that's fantastic. And there's always a need. What? Maybe you'll be like this huge actress. You'll be on all these things and everything, and then they might need you. There's a medical emergency, and bam, Lila can do both. Cut! I'm
I'll
on
save
it.
the
Like I
day.
can take the save the day. That's right. That's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I feel like that's some good backup money too for the dry spells because
Yeah.
there's always dry spells in acting, right? So if you're a medical
Exactly.
professional, I feel like that's good. You're all right. You're
Hell
okay.
Yeah, exactly. And especially like since everything happened with Corona, it made me realize like I definitely need to have a backup thing
Oh
from
yeah,
acting.
yeah.
Definitely. Well, I mean, that's good that you already know that because a lot of people, they're just like, all right, I'm putting all my eggs in one basket, and then they kind of get screwed
Yeah.
over at the end. So that's really good. Who would you say were some of your idols in front of the camera, like somebody that you look up to in the acting world?
Well, Tom Holland is my favorite actor of like all time.
I feel
She's
that.
already
I love
name dropped
Tom
him twice.
Yeah.
She's already a pro. Like
Tom Holland, if you're watching this, I love you. But yeah, him for sure. And then as for like a female, I've always really liked Jennifer Lawrence.
yeah.
I think she's really talented, and she's also so funny.
Yeah.
I love her like on camera and then off camera too. She's so funny.
Good
So,
influences. Like I'm solid choices. Solid choices. You know, too. We have a lot of people that listen to the podcast that are trying to break into the industry, and so I think it's important to always kind of put this out there too. You're Atlanta based, correct?
Right. Yes.
So, because I feel like there are so many young people out there that feel like they have to make that jump to LA right away if they want to have any shot at the career or whatever. But you're a perfect example of somebody who's not in LA and you've been on big shows and you've been in big movies and you're making a career out of it and you're nowhere near LA. So talk about that
LA
a little
is
bit.
It's definitely not necessary right now. I don't think anymore because everything is kind of moving to Atlanta right now with acting. Like there's tons of productions that are filming in Atlanta because I think mainly because it's cheaper here. Like it's just so much cheaper to do everything. So everything is moving here, and a lot of times they'll have casting calls for Atlanta only because they want to hire local because that's cheaper too. So everything is really moving to Atlanta right now. So it's a really great time to be in Atlanta for acting, and you can kind of build your resume with Atlanta acting, and then like later on you can go to LA or something like that. Because I just signed with an LA agency too. I think it was in January. So I just signed with an LA agency too. But before that, for the first 2 years, I was only doing Atlanta acting.
Well, and we've heard from many of our guests who are on shows, that shoot in Atlanta and everything. You can be a big fish in a small pond as opposed to a small fish in a giant pond out in LA, right? Where everybody looks like you and everybody's trying to do it and everybody, So, well, are you sure? Wow. Are you sure you didn't mention producer? Because you already seem to have a strong grasp on the financial part of it. You're like, no, we got to go where the incentives are. You shoot where it's cheap. Like, that's a very bright individual. Like, that's great that you're already on it at that young of an age. Now, if that's not inspiring people out there to try to like do it, I mean, I don't know what does. So let's talk about it though. Like the biggie Doom Patrol. We're huge Doom Patrol fans. You have no idea.
Yes.
Like we're friends with Riley, and he's our buddy, and he's just been fantastic. And I mean, just that show is so ridiculously out there and crazy.
Yes,
exactly.
Insane.
Is the set like
you
that?
never know what's gonna happen on that show too, because like 1 minute they'll be driving a bus and then the next they're in a donkey's butt. Like,
Yeah.
how did we get here?
That's the tagline right there. It's like fantastic. Is the set like that? Because, well, and I mean, what was it like for you? Because, man, the role that you play, and we'll talk about, I mean, it's intense. That was no joke. So, like,
it's crazy.
I would hope that in between there's some levity there and that you're having a good time and joking around and everything.
Yes. Oh yeah, everybody on the set is super nice and everyone's really like welcoming, and it's honestly just like one big family. It's a really amazing set, and everyone makes you feel very like safe And in between takes, I noticed too, because my character is like very dark and depressing, just
You
very
think?
gloomy.
And for anybody out there listening who doesn't know, that she's Miranda or Kay or whatever you want to say, is she's the main personality that goes and become like eventually Crazy Jane. So she's the reason that it happened and like went through the trauma and dark and depressing to say the very least.
Right. I'm the personality that threw myself down a well. So
Yeah.
if that tells you anything.
Facts.
But so in between takes they did really make sure that I was happy and that I wasn't like falling into the depression of my character or anything like that. But it was great. I loved being on that set. It was amazing.
That's really cool. And talk about the audition process a little bit. I mean, we've talked to a couple different people from either Marvel movies and television shows or DC shows, and they talk about how sometimes they don't even know what they're auditioning for. Was that your experience as well?
Well, mine was, I think that this was season 1. So the show hadn't come out yet. So I didn't really know anything about it. But I did know, who I was going to be auditioning for the younger version of. So we looked up Diana Guerrero. I think I'm pronouncing it right. Yeah. So we looked up her who plays Crazy Jane. And my mom made a collage where she compared both of our pictures and she put them side by side. And she was like, Lila, you have to nail this audition. Like, you guys look so similar. You have to do good on this. And so I auditioned with the scene where I'm in like a classroom, and it's Brendan Fraser and he's like walking through Crazy Jane's brain and everything. And he's supposed to be Robot Man, but without the robot head. So he's like walking through the brain, and in that scene where I'm in the classroom and I'm like, shut the door. That creepy one. That really creepy one. That's what I auditioned with. It was that exact same scene and all the lines were the exact same.
Wow. That's rare too, that the sides are actual. Yeah, that's rare. So
I was really shocked to see that it was the literal exact same lines. Like, someone totally could have leaked this. But I mean, obviously no one would do that. But so I auditioned with that. I sent in a tape and then there was no callbacks or anything. They just emailed me and they were like, congratulations, we want to offer you the role. And I was like, obviously I'm going to take it.
Right.
And then I think that, how long was it till I filmed? Not very long after that. I had a fitting and then I filmed. And then next season they emailed me and then they brought me back for some more scenes. So, yeah.
That's so exciting.
And I would assume that's possible still. I mean, because there's a lot of storyline there left. And I mean, you know how many times we're going to go back into the well, if you will. Did you see what I did there? Dip into that well of storyline. So you never know. Maybe. That's impressive, too. No callbacks or anything. You just, bam, nailed it. Mom must have been proud, right?
All right, sure, I'll take it.
Not that you didn't have any pressure from Mom to get it right away. Like, okay, thanks for the collage.
I had to live up to her collage that she made. I just had to
she sounds fantastic, though. That's hilarious. Like,
right.
Look how much you look alike.
Exactly. I mean, we were talking about the sides being leaked. I want that collage to be
right.
leaked.
Like, come on, now you got to post that somewhere. Now everybody's going to be looking at your Insta, going, "Where is it? We want to see it."
Oh my gosh, she showed it to everyone too. Like, whenever she would tell people I booked it, she was like, "And look at this collage."
She has it in her purse, ready. Like,
and if you don't post it, Lila, we're gonna make our own.
Yeah, right.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. So, well, man, that's exciting. And now, so what do you have coming up? You were recently filming a Disney Plus series, right?
Yes, I can talk about some of it.
Right.
Not all of it, obviously, because it's not out yet. But it's going to be called Just Beyond, and it's going to come out in the fall of this year. So not that far away.
Yeah, no.
But it's going to be based on these books called Boom. They're like studio graphic novels.
Mm-hmm.
And it's by the same author that wrote Goosebumps, R.L. Stein. So I think it's going to be really, really good. It's going to be a horror comedy anthology.
Right, yep.
So each episode is like a whole new cast, a whole new storyline. And I'm going to be one of the leads in episode 4.
Episode 4.
Fantastic.
We're going to see, now you set it up. Now we're going to have you back on after
exactly.
episode 4. The week that episode 4 airs, so, you know.
Yes, of course.
Oh, we've got to talk all about it when you can talk all about it. And that's, the guy behind Abraham Lincoln, the Vampire Slayer, is the showrunner, right? Is that correct? Seth Graham?
Yes. Yes, I think so.
Yeah. So he knows a little bit about horror and comedy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I think it's going to be a really, really good show because I read the whole script and I was like, it's amazing. It's going to be really good, I think.
Right?
Awesome.
Completely agree. And you're going to be on one of the biggest streamers out right now. I mean, no doubt Disney Plus is going to be the biggest one, going to surpass Netflix.
Yeah, they're climbing up.
Yeah, it's absolutely wild. And I mean, honestly, I think it's the best for everybody. Good whole, like, family entertainment, and especially if you get the bundle, you can have Hulu as well. Like, I think there's something a little bit for everyone. So you're on the right
We
side.
Sponsored by Disney.
That's right.
You're on the right side.
Well, see, and it's good to get in there now because, they're introducing the mutants into the MCU and they're doing all these Marvel shows. And I'm just saying, Jubilee. Look her up, Lila. I'll make a collage if your mom doesn't, okay? Jubilee and Lila. And look how much they look alike. I think there's potential there to be in the MCU. I'm just saying. And then maybe...
I would love that.
Maybe Spidey meets up with the X-Men and Jubilee meets,
Yes.
Hey, we're throwing that out there. Come on, Tom. Make that happen. Make that happen, Tom. We know when Tom speaks, they all listen. So, I mean, come on. So,
Exactly. We can start the social media campaign now.
That's right. Give us a hashtag. We'll run with it. It'll be fantastic. Maybe, let's facilitate that. Let's make it happen.
We really should.
We should.
We really
I think we should.
As long as you're on board with it.
That's right.
We can make this
I'm on
happen.
board.
That would be so awkward. Tom calls us and he's like, "So who's this Leela?" And she's like, "Nowhere to be found." Oh, sorry. It was
Like,
us.
I don't know them. I don't know what they're talking about.
Just make the autograph out to Leela.
Right. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. That'd be crazy. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well, with this past year being so crazy, I mean, it was for every single person with quarantine and everything like that.
Yes.
What shows were you binge watching? Because everybody was binge watching something. Was it like The Tiger King or was it something else?
Oh, Outer Banks was like my show.
Nice.
Oh, there you go.
That show was so good. And it came out perfect timing, too, because it was like start of quarantine.
Yeah.
For my school, at least. So everybody was watching Outer Banks. It was like a huge, huge thing. But yeah, that one and what else did I watched Cobra Kai.
Nice.
That was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are both really, really good.
Did you go back and I have to ask because I'm old, but did you go back and watch the originals just to kind of like see what it was all about before you watched Cobra Kai?
Kid?
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
Okay, good.
I watched 1 and 2. I didn't watch part 3, but 1 and 2 I really liked a lot.
3 didn't matter. You're good with 1 and 2.
That's what my dad said.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
My
now I'm
dad
dad.
was like,
Okay. Yeah.
See, you're old.
It's true. It's fine. It's fine. I'm okay with it. I'm young at heart.
That would be another show you would be epic on as well. I could see you kicking some ass.
Oh yeah, totally.
Like,
I would love that. I did audition actually for one role on there, but I didn't get it. So
another campaign.
Yeah, another campaign.
It's fine.
Or collage.
another
Just
hashtag.
always go back to the collage. I feel like that's the key, Leela. Have your mom make a collage, and if
I
there's
think so too.
anybody you look like on any show, you're gonna nail it. It's gonna be fine.
Exactly.
It's gonna be perfect.
I have to live up to the collage standards.
That's right, collage standards. What?
Exactly.
You're setting a whole new bar for the industry now. Everybody write that down. Like, oh my gosh. So, okay. Now you've had the success. You know, you're into it 3 years. We've determined if our math is correct, and we all think we are.
Yes.
Has there been any embarrassing moments in your young career so far? Something
my
on set
gosh.
that has happened that you were just like humiliated
oh my
by?
gosh. That is actually like an amazing question because I had the most embarrassing thing happen to me just on that just beyond set for Disney Plus. So embarrassing. This is the first time I'm going to be telling anyone this story. So
All right,
Fantastic.
exclusive here
Yeah,
on
right.
so basically, I'm allergic to eggs.
Oh.
It's like, yeah, it's not a fun allergy. I'm cursed. I live on a diet. This is my life.
What do you do on
And,
Easter? I don't understand.
I know. Never had a birthday cake either, might I add.
Oh my goodness! Oh,
yeah,
sad
I live a
now.
depressing life. But
I'm cursed, she says.
Now it's a goal to figure out how to give you a birthday cake without eggs. It's gonna be like what?
It's so funny.
but Yeah, so I'm allergic to eggs, and I talked about it on the set so much for some reason. It kept coming up, like I kept talking about it, and I don't normally talk about it a lot, but I was talking about it like crazy, and I was like, this is gonna come back to bite me in the butt for some reason. And so we have like catering on set every day, and it's always really, really good food. And there was one day where they had salmon, and I was thinking salmon wouldn't have eggs on it, right? Like who puts eggs on salmon? So I ordered the salmon, I ate the salmon, and my throat started to get a little tickly.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
I was like, this is not good. So one of the PAs, his name is Theo. I love Theo. He's an amazing man. He came into the room and I was like, yeah, my throat's a little tickly. Like, do you think you could check and see if the salmon has eggs? And he was like, oh, yeah, I'll check. So he leaves. He comes back like 5 minutes later and he's like, yeah, so Lila, that salmon, don't eat it. And I'm like, I already did.
There's a reason I told you to check.
Right.
I was like, I already did. And he was like, oh, crap. And I was like, yep. And then like 30 minutes pass and I have to go to the bathroom and like throw up and everything.
Oh, my goodness.
And they were filming while I was throwing up in the bathroom. They were filming in the room right outside the bathroom.
Oh, no.
So I hope to God you can't hear someone just like puking their guts out. Sorry, it's TMI, but
Oh, my goodness, yeah.
I hope to God you can't hear it in the show. I don't think you'll be able to.
Now, guys and gals, if you remember, that's episode 4.
Yeah, if she's not on screen, be
and you
listening.
hear some puking,
Yeah.
now we know what it is.
Me. So yeah, just a little behind the scenes. If you hear a strange noise in the background of one of the scenes, it is me.
Was it violent? Because that would be horrible.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
See,
my God.
the worst kind. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, it was brutal. It was so brutal.
Oh.
And I walked out of the bathroom and I was just like so embarrassed. I was like, oh my God.
It's like makeup.
Makeup. Somebody.
Makeup. Hair.
Oh yeah, the makeup and hair ran over. And they were like, we got you, honey. We got you.
Oh, my goodness.
And the name of the craft service company was no. I'm just kidding. I'm just like, who does put eggs on salmon? We want to know.
I know. That's what I was saying. It's because it was mayonnaise. They put mayonnaise on salmon.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
that?
No,
That's what
yeah.
it was.
That's
awful.
Yeah.
That is very strange.
But I had to recover because I still had more scenes to film that day.
Yes. Yes.
So yeah, they
Recovery.
they had the medic come over and I had a quick recovery and then I had to go back to filming. So.
Hey, more power to you.
That's right. Well, Logan and I are jotting that down, things to remember, because we do want to work with you in the future. So no eggs.
No
Yes,
way.
please.
Very important. No eggs.
Mayonnaise salmon, please.
We don't need
And
any
hunt
of
down
that.
this PA because he knows how to take care of her. It's okay. It's
Exactly.
fine. We're going to do great.
He's going to be the traveling PA.
That's right. Whatever we work on, that guy's there. It's fine. It's fantastic.
That's so funny. That's so funny. Well, with it being such an ever-evolving industry, over the past, I would say, decade now, because, I mean, social media has been around for a while, social media has kind of taken over the industry. People have become their own influence, basically, on social media and can make their own
Right.
content there. What do you think about social media? Do you think it's a good thing or a bad thing? Because there is a lot of trolls out there as well.
Yeah, I agree. That's a hard question. I think parts of it are really good. Like I think that it's cool that it gives everyone a voice in a way. Like everyone can talk about things that matter and help spread like the truth about everything.
Right.
But it also can be a bad thing because like you said, there's trolls and there's like just everything on social media, not everything, but 90% of things are fake. So like everyone's like comparing themselves to each other, you know, and like thinking like, oh, why don't I look like this person? Even though that person might not even look like that.
Right.
And if they do, it's only in that picture. Like they don't look like that all the time. And like social media is just like the highlight of everyone's life. And I feel like a lot of people think that that's how their life is all the time. And they're like, why isn't my life like that all the time?
Right.
But it's not. So it's just kind of setting like unrealistic standards. But I think that the good and the bad are equal. So it ends up just being kind of like a if you like it or if you don't
Right.
kind of thing.
Yeah, we compare it to a double-edged sword because, it can either be so good or so bad for either which way. But, man, you are very wise beyond your years.
Have you had it play into any of your auditions? Have you had, a casting director or somebody ask how many followers you've had, or has it played into any of that?
it was one of my very first auditions I ever got, and this was back. I only had, I think, like 1,000 followers, but they wanted you to have a lot of followers, and like the more followers you had, the better.
Right.
Yeah.
Which I don't really know why. I don't remember what the reason was for, but yeah, that was the only audition I think that I've ever seen where it was something like that. But I only had, like I said, 1,000 at the time, so it didn't help at all.
Well, that's good though. At least it was only just a one-time, kind of a thing. So
yeah,
because I feel like that's also a double-edged sword.
Yeah, you don't want to be a make or break thing. I mean, the industry is just so strange right now. We just got to go with it. It's
it
like
really is
a wave that we got to ride and see what happens.
It really is. It's made sets so different too, because I remember for the Just Beyond show, we had to get COVID tested like every other day.
Yeah.
Yep.
And everyone looked so crazy around us because they all had face shields and masks on. So it was like you could barely hear what anyone was saying around you.
Right. A whole bunch of
true.
what? Wait, what'd you say? Like what? What?
Yeah,
Yeah,
can you even
exactly.
imagine? Like you have to wear the face shield and the mask, and then all the crew's got the headsets on, and you're trying to like sound like a muffled Darth Vader, trying to like tell everybody what. I can't even imagine. Oh.
Oh my gosh, yeah. It made it interesting for sure, but it was awesome.
There you go. It's all about the experience in life, and I'm glad
Yeah.
you're having good experiences on sets at such a
Thanks.
young age. Of course, of course. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show and getting a little crazy with us. We really appreciate it, and I love how you brought up Darth Vader, Dustin, because it's all about Disney, and we love
It
Disney.
is. It's all about Disney
Yes.
Plus. As we said, this show's
Sponsor
sponsored
them.
by.
Sponsor them, Disney.
So listen, I mean, you're only 3 years in, but I feel like you're so, like Logan said, wise beyond the years. So I think you're going to be
Thank
pretty
you.
good at this. What advice? This is what what we do at the end of the interviews, because we do have so many people trying to break in. What advice would you give to those trying to break into the industry and maybe follow along your footsteps in the acting? And what pitfalls would you tell them to try to avoid?
I would say for getting started, definitely just consistency, because I know a lot of times, obviously you won't book the role. Like you'll probably book 1 in every 50 roles that you audition for. Or maybe that's a little dramatic. Maybe 1 in 25. I don't know. It's different for everybody. But
It depends on how many collages are being made.
but I would say to definitely just like keep going, because it's easy to get discouraged in this industry, whenever you're not booking, but you just have to keep auditioning, keep trying, because every single movie and show has different looks that they want, and you never know whenever you're going to fit that look perfectly. And I would also say that anyone should try it too, because I know some people are like, oh, like I don't have a good look, like I'm not going to get booked for stuff. But for this industry especially, they need all kinds of looks.
Yep.
So anyone can try, to get into the industry. And as for the pitfalls, I would say the only shady thing I've ever had someone do to me was I'm not going to say her company name, but there was this one production company that I did work for 6 months ago, and they still have not paid any of the actors.
Oh.
Yeah.
Shady.
Yeah. So, and I don't really know how you can, I guess you can kind of look out for those people by looking them up maybe and seeing if they're legit,
Right.
maybe on IMDb, something like that.
Yep.
But that's the main thing that I would try to avoid if you're starting with acting, because there's tons of scams, especially for newer actors, because they think that they can take advantage of them,
Yep.
And also definitely check everything, get an agent for sure, and check everything with your agent, because your agent will be able to tell if it's a scam or not.
Smart. Very smart
Yeah.
advice. That's that's great. I mean, it's so amazing. We're always really happy when we have guests on that are young like yourself, but have such a solid grip on life and how to do it, and are going in the right direction. And you clearly, based on what you've said about your mom and dad, have a support system that's in place that's really encouraging and really good. And, so it always makes us happy that that's out there, because you see so many that don't have that and are struggling. So it's nice to see somebody, and I'm sure you will inspire many from this interview and your approach and how you're doing it. So thank you so much. No, thank you for coming on, and we open invite episode 4. Well, you got to come back and talk about it.
Of course.
I mean, seriously, whenever you want to come back on, you're a fan of the show. You listen. Maybe come on and do a top 5 segment with us or something. That'd be awesome.
Of course.
Awesome.
Yes.
Well, and before, one last thing, because we just talked about it. Where can everybody follow you and make sure sure that on social media, where can they find you?
Oh yes, my Instagram handle is just Lila Owen, and then I'll spell that just in case. L LeeLaOwen.
Got it. All right. It seems
Yeah.
fairly straightforward and simple.
Exactly. And congratulations on your first podcast interview. You killed it. You're
Yes.
Thank
absolutely
you so
phenomenal.
much. Thank you guys for having me.
Of
Of course.
course. And I just want to say, we've had a lot of guests on the show, and by far, you are not the worst.
No.
I just want to put that out there. We love
I'll
all
take
of our
it, I'll take
guests.
it.
We love all of our guests. But
No, yeah, actually, this has been really fun. You're like really bubbly and a lot of personality and just really fun to talk to. So, yeah.
Thank you. You guys too. Y'all are awesome.
Well, thanks. We appreciate it.
you are
So-
now an honorary crazy aunt since you came inside the farm.
Yeah.
That's right. Maybe we'll even send you a shirt. We'll see.
Oh,
Yeah. You know.
I'll rep the merch.
There you go. I love this girl. She's fantastic
she's
already. Listen, have a great rest of the night, and we, like I said, really appreciate it. And just, you're awesome. Well done and continued success, and just best wishes, honestly.
Thank you so much. You guys too.
All right. Well, take care now.
You too. Nice meeting you guys.
See,
Bye bye.
Bye.
I think right there at the end, I just said see. Not see ya,
Yeah,
just see.
see.
And we're talking, so it's here. Okay. But anyway, it was amazing. She's a freaking awesome up-and-comer.
She is. I mean, that is what you want. Somebody like that's got passion and just enthusiasm and a good support system.
Yeah.
And she's going to go far.
I mean, that's what it's all about, especially her mom. Like, you need to do this role. Like,
Look how much you look alike.
exactly. Well, I mean, it's always good to have good influences.
And stay away from mayonnaise and eggs. Damn, come on, people.
That's a crazy story.
I would hate that allergy.
Yeah, that
like
would
seriously.
really
Oh my
suck.
god,
I
God
love
bless her.
deviled eggs. Like,
Yeah, seriously. Although she wouldn't be the first person that we know that puked violently on a set. I'm just
you know, but super fun. Everybody go follow her. She's amazing. Thank you again, Lila Owen, for coming on the show. Alrighty, now it is time for the top 5 segment, man, and we're super excited because I mean, there's so many people you guys know we want to talk to. But
Yes.
now this top 5 is top 5 dream dinner guest. Ooh. I mean, there were so many people. I mean, of course, from the entertainment industry, but I mean, like, different freaking sports people we want to talk to, different, like, scientists. I mean, I want to talk to Einstein,
I mean, seriously, like, come on now.
Oh, man, but it's a good one. So, my number 5 goes to Reggie Miller, who I've actually talked to, and I'm sure a lot of you have watched that Instagram Live, and I'm probably going to be reposting that soon because it's super motivational, because he called me the next Steven Spielberg, and that's just something that's always going to just stay with me. But, of course, you guys know I'm from Indiana. He played for the Pacers the whole time I was growing up. I mean, he's an Indiana legend. He went to UCLA. I mean, one of my favorite colleges, especially for basketball. But man, this guy is just super freaking amazing. So, of course, that's why he is on my list. Number 5, Reggie Miller.
Woo! I mean, yeah, and rightfully so. That's kind of cool that you got to talk to him and do that. I mean, how badass is
Right?
that?
Knows the podcast.
Yeah. So my number 5, obviously, you guys have heard me talk about this numerous times. He's a huge inspiration of mine as far as on the filmmaking side, and now my parlay into cooking. I just absolutely love cooking lately, and so I'm talking about Jon Favreau. And not only would he be an epic dinner guest, but we could cook that dinner together. And then talk about food and film while we're eating. I mean, that would be like, I don't even know how to describe how epic that would be.
Right.
Jon Favreau, please make that happen. This guy is so amazing and inspirational as a film director. Like, a lot of the stuff that you guys are seeing now, he was behind. He was like created the technology and like all the stuff, which is so badass. And then he's like a badass chef now.
Right.
He's like in his own right a legit chef now. And I mean, which is so badass. Jon Favreau, my number 5. Let's cook and talk, John.
Let's cook and talk. Oh, my goodness. Well, my number 4 goes to, you guys should already know this. He was going to be on the list somewhere. Patrick Dempsey. Of course, we would talk about Grey's Anatomy, but I would also like to talk about him venturing out other than, film and television, being a part of his own, like, racing team, and he actually does the driving, and, of course, venturing out and partnering with, I forget that water, but he has his own water brand and shit. Like, I mean, I just want to learn more about his entrepreneur skills. And yeah,
And him.
enough said. Enough said.
And him. And his
I
hair.
was just gonna say Patrick Dempsey. You guys know.
That would have been it. Done right there. Oh my goodness. All right. My number 4, I just think this would be a brilliant conversation. I mean, this woman, the stories that she could probably tell, the things that she's seen, just the life and history alone, I can't even. And I would like straight up legit ask her, Diana, what the fuck?
Right.
What were you thinking?
What
I'm,
was
of course,
going on
talking
there?
about Queen Elizabeth II. I mean, the longest reigning monarch in history, right? This woman has been queen through 13 presidents,
Yeah.
y'all. 13 presidents. Think about that.
And the majority of them are dead now. Like,
I mean, you think, yeah,
Like-
yeah. I mean, it's Harry Truman, if I'm not mistaken, if my history is correct, was the first, all the way now through Biden. Think about it. Harry Truman through Biden.
That's
Just
wild.
those stories alone. But then you talk about all the prime ministers with freaking Churchill and Margaret Thatcher, and just like, I would talk to this woman, just, I can't even tell you, and learn all of the secrets behind all of that, and just get the real crown.
Right.
Like we see the TV show, get the real crown. That would be epic.
Hell yeah.
Just to be able to talk to her like that would be awesome.
Agreed, man. Agreed. Well, my number 3 goes to Kevin Smith. I've said this on the show countless times, and if you guys follow me on social media, you know this is the epitome of the type of filmmaker I want to be. Have that indie heart, but have that mainstream success. Like, just to where, put all of your friends on, have them come with you from project to project, and let them start building a name for themselves and helping them get to somewhere that they deserve to be, but maybe not know the right path to take. So, I mean, this guy is just epic. I watched his stand-up special, the one right before he had his heart attack, and it was absolutely hilarious. This guy can do so many freaking things. But yes, my number 3 is the one and only Kevin Smith.
That would be epic.
It would.
My number 3, I'm sticking with like royalty, if you will, but definitely history making for this country. Hands down, I'm talking about the first ever Vice President of the United States of America, and first woman of color to hold that position, first Asian to hold that position. I'm talking about, of course, Vice President Kamala Harris. Oh my God, what a conversation that would be.
Agreed.
Just the historic nature of the office that she holds right now, and the unbelievable pressure that comes with that. I would just be enthralled with conversation about what she's going through, how she's dealing with it. And guys, she could very potentially be the first woman president of this country soon. So, I mean, just to have that conversation and see where she's coming from and where she's been and how it all came together. And I just think her and her husband would be epic guests.
I think so, too.
They have like this awesome relationship. They just seem like they're really fun
Yeah.
on top of all that. So it would be great.
I agree.
Yeah, Kamala Harris.
Definitely. Well, my number 2 goes back to the hometown roots. Of course, Indianapolis with the Pacers. Now on the other side of that, the Colts. I mean, the epitome of the shadow of Peyton Manning was Andrew Luck. He was definitely like Peyton Manning 2.0, but I mean, that damn line. But yes, number 2 would be Andrew Luck. I would just want to talk to this guy about how to stay away from the media and how to stay away from the haters. This guy doesn't have any social media whatsoever, and basically at the peak of his career, I mean, of course, all the injuries and shit, that's why I say that damn line, but like he just retires out of nowhere and nobody has heard from him or talked to him since, like except his teammates, but like publicly he has not been seen or like given an interview since he retired, which is amazing. He can stay away from all that negativity and all those people bothering him, so kudos to him. But he went to Stanford. He's a very intelligent individual, and he majored in architecture, so I would just love to have a conversation about just different types of building, because I'm a photographer and I love taking pictures of buildings. So yes, number 2 for me, Andrew Luck. So much to talk about.
Yeah, I always liken him. I mean, the similar situation of Joe Montana and Steve Young.
Yeah.
Steve Young was forever in the shadow of Joe Montana until he won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It was the monkey he couldn't shake, and unfortunately for Luck, because of the injuries, he never could shake that monkey. He couldn't get Peyton Manning off his back. But and that's unfortunate. But that would be a good one. That would be a really good one. Okay, my next 2, my number 2 and my number 1 are no longer with us, But I just, they're like, I would, if there was a way, seance, whatever, bring them back, whatever, I would totally want these people. My number 2 is Walt Disney. Because one simple reason, if you can imagine it, you can do it.
Yes.
And this man is the epitome of everything I want to try to do. His whole goal was to inspire people in life, to make people smile, to give them, the ability to live out their dreams, and it's everything that I strive to do in my life is to do that, to inspire people to go after their dreams, to inspire people to know that they can do whatever they want to do. If they can think it, they can do it. And this is a guy who no after no after no after no did it, and look, the legacy is still here, still going strong. And so if I could have a conversation with a man like that and just say, thank you first, and then how did you get through it? Talk to me about the tough times and what you did and all these. I just think it would be an absolutely brilliant conversation. So.
Agreed, man. Agreed. And I mean, have those conversations at his grave because we know where it is.
Do you?
Right.
Oh,
Probably not. Probably not.
No.
Oh, man.
But we do.
Yeah, buddy. But my number 1 goes to someone who is very close to my age and having some huge success right now. And I would just love to have a conversation about how he paved the way for himself, and especially in a different country, making that mainstream success in America. I'm talking about Tom Holland. Him and I are literally damn near the same age, and this guy is freaking on top of the world, like in so many epic universes and movies, and still doing the right thing, keeping a good head on his shoulders, not going crazy with the amount of money that he has right now. And I mean, this guy has a bright future ahead of him. I think he's going to be the next Leonardo DiCaprio, and past that, Daniel Day-Lewis. And so I have high hopes for this man. I can't wait to meet him one day, because we're going to be everywhere. Crazy Ant's going to be fucking everywhere.
It's true.
But yes.
Maybe he'll be the next Walt Disney, because he was literally brokering deals between Sony and Disney when it was all about to fall apart. He's like, listen, guys, I'm drunk as fuck, but let's get this done right now. I'll never forget that story about drunk dialing Bob Iger. Like, who does that? Tom Holland does that. So, oh my goodness. My number 1, oh my goodness. She paved the way, y'all. Paved the way. She is the epitome of going after everything and Hollywood destroying it all. And tragic as that may be. I'm talking about Marilyn Monroe. Just the conversations that I would want to have with her about what happened. Where did it go wrong? This was an extremely talented woman who, by the way, the Marilyn Monroe was a persona. That bubbly, ditzy blonde, she was an extremely smart, intelligent woman who knew when to turn it on and off and played the game brilliantly, but just got caught up in the machine, man. And I guess that's a conversation I would like to have with her. What happened? When did, how did it go down? And just the ultimate love affair with Joe DiMaggio, and just like, did the Kennedys happen? Did they not? Just so many questions that I would love to get answers to about legit what happened with Marilyn Monroe. Woo!
Yeah,
I don't know.
That'd be a long conversation.
It would be a long conversation.
But
there you go.
But a good one. Well, guys, who are your top 5 dinner guests, or your top 1? We want to know. Be sure to leave a comment in the YouTube section, or add us on Twitter, Instagram. Leave a comment anywhere, because we love the fan interaction and we love you. So now it is time for the box office recap. And number 1, boy, we cracked $20 million. And I'm so happy it was this film, because I was waiting for this one. Mortal Kombat, guys. It brought in $22.5 million. I'm so freaking happy about this film. It is so good. It is definitely better than the 1995 one. And, I mean, of course, there's going to be that cheesiness. It's a video game movie, of course. But, of course, you got the classic catchphrases that come from it. And there definitely was some epic freaking fight scenes and epic finishes. So,
there was.
Number 1, Mortal Kombat. Now, number 3 is...
You want me to take number 2?
Yeah, I do.
I'll try it.
Do.
Kimetsu no Yaiba Mugen Reshahin.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
That was good.
That was pretty good.
Thank you for that.
All right, sure. Number 2. That made $19.5 million. I hope that was right.
I know, right?
I thought it was pretty damn good.
It was pretty good. I wonder what that one's about. I mean,
Well, it's about Kimetsu no Yaiba Mugen Reshan.
Yes, that guy. Or them, however they identify.
Or it.
Or it. You don't know.
I don't know. It's the next monster fighting Kong.
Exactly.
We don't know. We don't know.
Oh, my goodness. Well, number 3 was Godzilla vs. Kong, still hanging on with 4.2 million. Number 4 was Nobody with 1.9 million. And number 5 was Raya and the Last Dragon.
Who might or might not be related to Kimetsu no Yaiba Mugen Reshan.
Yeah, you never know, man. You never know. And new movies that are coming out possibly near you. Separation, Limbo, About Endlessness, and Eat Wheaties. There's a lot of weird stuff coming out.
Wait, is that about, Jenner's run for?
Maybe. Who knows?
Eat Wheaties!
Eat Wheaties. Vote for me. Eat Wheaties. Oh, my goodness.
He's not on the cover anymore.
No.
She's not on the cover anymore.
Movies you can still go see. The Unholy, Tom and Jerry, Together, The Carrier, and The Girl Who Believes in Miracles. Now.
She believes in miracles. That's an old song.
It is.
Look at you.
I know.
Dropping some oldies.
Thank
All right.
you.
Okay.
And IMDb Pro top trending segment. You guys know what it is. The top trending movie this week was Finish Him. Mortal Kombat. It was really good, guys. I mean, really, go watch it. Watch on HBO Max. I thoroughly enjoyed it. The top trending TV show, of course, was Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Which is incorrect now.
Yeah.
Incorrect. That's Captain America and
yes, Bucky.
James Bucky.
Yeah, right.
Because he's no longer the Winter Soldier.
No.
So it's just Bucky. It's Captain America and Bucky now.
Exactly. Mic drop. That's it. That's it. And the top trending star is Helen McCrory.
Yeah, for obvious reasons. Sad, but passing.
But
I hate when they're on the list for the wrong reason.
I know. It's crazy. It's crazy. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for getting crazy with us on 160. That is absolutely wild.
Oh my gosh.
And making me feel old. We got to thank our guest one more time, Lila Owen, for coming on the show. Be sure to follow her on Instagram because that's where she's at.
That's right.
And of course, you guys know you can follow the company and the podcast on social media at Crazy Ant Media or at ItCaf Podcast. And you guys know you subscribe, or you can follow us both personally on social media. Myself at JLoFantastic, and
I'm at what was it? Let's see. It's Kimetsu no Yaiba Mugen. No, it's Crazy Ant Guy 1970.
There it is.
I just wanted to say that wrong as many times as I could.
It's just news records. No. You guys know you can subscribe to this podcast anywhere you listen to your podcast. Anchor, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play Music, iHeartRadio, Podbean, Stitcher, and so much more. If you're watching this video on YouTube, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell for all the latest and greatest Crazy Ant notifications, guys. We appreciate it. We love it. And you guys know you can visit our website, www.crazyantmedia.com, where you can start rocking the latest and greatest Crazy Ant Media gear. Fresh new merch out right now, and you can get it 15% off.
Oh, now see, you got to do it.
You got to freaking do it, guys. You got to do it. Of course, this was such a great show. I mean, it was so good. Jam-packed industry news segment with all good stuff to talk about. I mean, we got diversity stuff in there. We got superhero stuff in there. Super excited about the two Rocks also reuniting for the Black Adam.
It feels so good.
Oh, yeah. Man. But all the freaking Disney stuff, I love it. I love all of it.
I mean, seriously, but I'm going to be honest with you straight up. My favorite part of the show this week was the interview.
Yeah.
The giggle gets me every time. That type of enthusiasm inspires.
Yeah.
To just go get it. Keep your head on your shoulders. Think straight. Surround yourself with good people. Get it done.
Exactly.
It's inspiring.
Exactly.
That's my favorite part.
Exactly. I mean, I wish my mom would make me a collage.
Seriously, please, Lila, post that collage.
Please. That's our campaign. That's our true campaign.
#, post the collage.
Yes.
That's it.
Oh my gosh. And you guys know it's a perfect show when we can talk about the one and only O that matters. You guys know we love her. Oprah!